Hello and welcome to my personal setup where my bangs are fucking stupid. Got Discord on in the background because it's my friend's birthday, so that'll be fun to edit out. Anyway, hi, my name is Jeff, aka Welsh Bastard, and this is me doing the OC tag because I feel like it and no one told me not to. I am indeed dressed up as my OC, but like a more casual version of her because she's from like 2005 and I didn't feel like putting on 3,000 accessories, and also I couldn't find all the accessories from the original. The original version that is like the most canon of her is this, edited by the wonderful Kai Vion. So something I did just for funsies was I asked my followers on Instagram after posting my OC some questions about her, and I'm gonna get to those. For a quick introduction about who she is, since I'm sure none of you know, her name is Rochelle Young. She is 19 in the first book that she's from. The books take place over a series of years. I'm not used to having long hair, so apologies in advance as I adjust. She's a Virgo. She is the guitarist and writer in the band that is the plot of the book, which is called Say It With Neon. She is a bisexual and transgender girl, and that is very funny in the sense of like the levels of trans is very funny because I am a transgender man currently cosplaying a transgender girl, so like the genderification beam is on. Rochelle's story is basically her mom left when she was around 7 or 8. She was raised by her dad, who was struggling with alcoholism and PTSD because he was a war vet. I don't remember exactly what war he would have been in because I'm bad at math, but he was deployed at some point. She lives in Las Vegas with her best and pretty much only at the time friend Caleb, who is also a transgender guy. His parents are a lot more accepting, and so she spends a lot of time at his house. The two of them had a band, but the band disbanded when Rochelle was outed by a lot of her classmates at school because they found her MySpace profile where she was a girl online. Rochelle, Caleb, and then a couple other people that they meet via Craigslist get in a van and they go across the country to move in with Rochelle's boyfriend in Chicago, and in the process they restart the band and they get signed by a local label, and then they start touring, and that's the end of the first book, is just them getting the band back together. And it's told through Caleb's point of view, but my favorite character is probably Rochelle, and that's why I decided to cosplay her instead of Caleb. A friend of mine who has read the book has threatened to cosplay Caleb, and I'm like, do it, bitch. So if he ever does cosplay Caleb, we will be doing TikToks that no one will understand aside from like 2 other people, and that's fine. Rochelle is very determined. She is very straightforward. She has a plan for everything. She basically planned to get into and go to the University of Chicago since the age of like 14 when she realized she was a transgender woman, and technically at the time she probably would have called herself transsexual, but given that I'm writing the book in initially 2017, now editing it in 2021, I wanted to just use the correct terminology for I don't want to be called out for being problematic sake. I refer to her and Caleb as transgender instead of transsexual, or like transvestite, which I think would have been more common during that era. She has planned ahead. She has essentially plotted out her whole life. She met her boyfriend, who is named Jack, via online forums for a band that both of them like, and a band that is Chicago local that Jack has actually done photography for, and that's how he started listening to them. Rochelle, of course, is very much the scene queen, you know, like suck band members off backstage. She is the definition. She's the girl that Don't Trust Me by 303 is written about, but like cooler, I guess. I don't know, not that that girl isn't cool. I think that girl is cool. We just had internalized misogyny when we listened to that song in 2008. But yeah, that's just kind of an overview of Rochelle as a character, and let me pull up the questions. I got a few questions, just like random things to answer about her, and then probably just gonna go look up like fun questions for characters or something and just like fill out more, because I really like this character. I think she's very fun. I've done some TikToks with her if I ever could, and or Joey was willing, kind of thing, and we were in the same state. I would love to do some sort of music video for the book, because I think that'd just be neat. These again are from my Instagram, which is welsh.bastard, and these are from my followers, so let's get into it, Curtis Connor style. got the white wall. I'm ready. So from Holly350, how fun was it to cosplay her, and how did you feel about the cosplay? So the first time I cosplayed her was about a month ago. It was actually really fun to cosplay her. I wish that we'd gotten into her earlier in the day so we could have gone like outside to do a shoot, because there's a couple abandoned like fast food restaurants near us, and that would have been very aesthetically pleasing and like correct for her. We didn't get around to it because the sun had already set by the time I was into her. How do I feel about the cosplay? I feel really good. I actually, when putting this particular makeup on, because the original one I did was more of a red, when I put this makeup on and I was just like in my wig cap, I was like, oh, it's bad, I'm gonna take it off. So I took my wig cap off, and then I was like, wait a minute, when I'm not an egg, this actually looks good. So I put it back on and just finished the look and was like, all right, we're in it, bitch. So I feel very good about the cosplay. Again, like the full-fledged cosplayers on my Instagram, you can like see what the fuck I'm doing there. But yeah, I do like cosplaying her. I think I might actually cosplay her at a con at some point. No one's gonna know who she is, but I will. From My Hero Academia fan, how hard was it to cosplay? Both harder and easier than I expected. I'd wanted to make a cos test for Rochelle for a while now. I was just slowly gathering the items. I think the last thing I got, which I'm not wearing right now, is like a plaid little skirt thing from Hot Topic, but I think that was the last article of clothing I got for her. Like, I've had this wig for a hot second, all the makeup I already had, the Green Day shirt that I wear, the vest I already wear, I had those just for my closet and for Villain Todoroki cosplay. So like I had a bunch of the stuff. So the hard part was not getting the cosplay right. The hard part was putting it all together and making it look like how I imagine Rochelle, because I'm an okay artist. I'm not the greatest artist. So it was a process to get her to look on me the way I wanted her to look for realsies, plus the whole like aggressive genderification beam of like 7 different directions of gender. Like, I don't look anything like myself right now. It's very, very strange, but in a cool way. What inspired you to create her? So technically speaking, the story she's from is originally a fan fiction that I wrote for NaNoWriMo many years ago, I think 2016. I liked it so much and it got so carried away into its own universe that I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna turn this into an original novel. For Rochelle specifically, I think a lot of what inspired me to create her was I wanted to see more trans characters in fiction, both in fan fiction and like original fan fiction, that weren't just there for sexual reasons or just for like, ooh, being trans is so hard. Like, I just wanted to see her and Caleb succeed and have a good fucking time while doing it. Also, honestly, Hayley Williams and Halsey, being the very outspoken, powerful women that they are in the music industry, were big inspirations for Rochelle's character, both in the fic and as I adapted it to be its own thing. Rochelle in the fic is a lot less proactive than she is in the original novel. She gets a lot more of a voice for herself. She and Caleb's friendship is founded on the fact that they are both not like other kids, and also on the fact that they're not gonna let people step on them for it. Like, okay, I'm not like other kids.
Jeff, I don't think you realized you're not muted.
Oh no! Hold on. Forgot to mute myself. I am a fool. So enjoy that little blooper of my friends calling me out for not putting myself on mute on the Discord call. I think that answered the question for what inspired me to create Rochelle, hopefully. If it didn't, sorry, I'm very derailed at this point. The next question is from Wanna Vibe, but 2020 said, no, it is, what is her favorite color? And I mean, given the way I'm dressed now, I feel like it should be teal or like a turquoisey teal. I think she used to think it was red, like as a teenager, as the band formed. Of course, she, you know, was trying to be like all edgy and shit, and I think was just like, yeah, I like red, like I'm a vampire kind of energy. And then as she like grew out of that, she was like, I mean, red's cool, but really teal is that bitch. And that's fair, and I love that for her. Unrealistic Red said, does she like pineapple on pizza? I feel like Caleb does, and I feel like Rochelle doesn't, but like mostly just to fuck with him, because he's like, it's good, why does everyone make a big deal of this? And she's like, you are wrong, and here's why. You know how friends are just like about it? She's about it. Oh, this isn't really a question. I was just reading things to ask your character, and one was like, do they have any coworkers they get along with? Rochelle's side job while in Chicago is she actually works at the University of Chicago bookstore cafe, which I don't actually know if that existed all the way back in 2005, but since it's my novel, I can make it exist in 2005. And a couple years ago, I went to Chicago to see Fall Out Boy, and I actually got to go to the coffee shop, and there's a picture of me looking very grumpy by the sign, just I think I'm funny. I'm not, but I think I am. Rochelle does work in a coffee shop. She is an okay barista, I feel like. I think she wants to be a perfectionist at everything she does. She's like, if I don't do it good, what's the point? Realistically, I think she'd want to be the best barista, but objectively, she's also like, I should put my focus towards making music because that's what I want to do long term. I don't want to work in a coffee shop long term. I will be good at what I do because I have to be, but I will be spacing out in the middle making your macchiato, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. So one of the questions is, what is their biggest pet peeves? And I think one of Rochelle's biggest pet peeves is people who are unaware of their surroundings, like very oblivious people. I think that gets on her nerves. I think she does have kind of her head in the clouds, but like she's still aware of what's going on. She may be spacing out while making your macchiato, but she's not going to spill it. She might get the balance a little off, but she's not going to spill it. She might not be the most engaging person at the cash register, but she's not just going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't see you there. Like, she's not impatient with people who don't pay attention. She's just like, really? Is it that hard to know what the fuck is going on? Also, one is, do they consider themselves an introvert or an extrovert? Rochelle is absolutely introvert, without a doubt. Actually, now I'm curious, like, what her Myers-Briggs would be. Okay, realistically, I think she's probably an ISTJ, which is kind of nothing like me. I'm an INT or FP, depending on which day I take the test. On this website, which I just pulled up, it says an ISTJ is quiet, serious, they earn success through thoroughness and dependability, they're practical, matter of fact, realistic, and responsible. They decide logically what should be done and work towards it steadily, regardless of distractions. Take pleasure in making everything orderly and organized, their work, their home, their life. They value traditions and loyalty. A lot of that works for Rochelle. I think one of the only things that doesn't is the valuing traditions and loyalty. I think she does value loyalty, but not blind loyalty. Like, to her, like, for example, her father is not the best person. He does eventually kind of start to come around before he dies. There's no explicit redemption one way or the other as to how either party feels or if, like, things are okay between them, but there is an attempted reconciliation. And for Rochelle, it's very hard because she knows, like, the shitty stuff that her dad's done because he's done it to her, but she also recognizes that he is a person and people can change over time. And so her loyalty to being a very independent person and not relying on her parents versus her recognition of her father as a flawed human being. Also, I won't go too deep into spoilers because this is essentially the plot of one of, I believe, the third book that I have planned. I've written the first two out and part of the third, and I'm readjusting the timeline as I go. But one arc of the story is basically Caleb fucks up and pulls a Sagittarius and he's gone. Goodbye, no warning, I'm out. And about a year-ish later, he returns back and asks Rochelle to, like, forgive him and to try and start over. And Rochelle is, of course, deeply hurt by the fact that Caleb essentially betrayed her and, in her world, did something very unforgivable that she has a hard time letting go. She does because she recognizes that, like, he's not in a good place and it's not her job to fix him, but also just because he's in a bad place doesn't mean that he should be abandoned. Like, he may have abandoned her, but that doesn't mean she has to do the same to him. So I think she does have a deep sense of loyalty, but she also knows when and where to draw the line, because after Caleb comes back, she is a lot more conscious of their codependency and of the fact that they rely on each other pretty much for everything and have for their entire lives. She starts working to separate herself from him and starts encouraging him to find a different, like, best friend kind of thing so that he has someone else to go to with his concerns and his emotional vulnerability, because she has Jack now. She has the poet she made and the poet friends she made up in the Pacific Northwest. She has a circle outside of Caleb. They're no longer in high school in the 2000s in suburbia and transing their gender. They're in Hollywood. No one cares. There's more to do. And so Rochelle recognizes that there are going to be more people that she can relate to than just Caleb, and the same goes for him. So she doesn't want to hold him back and tie him down to the loyalty that they had in the past that was a survival instinct. She wants to encourage both of them to branch out and to grow as people. I feel like that was very deep for an OC tag. I'm just like, hi, let me introduce you to my character. Here's her tragic backstory. So I guess that's the best way to end it off. I would like to do more with Rochelle. If you guys have any more questions you want to know about her or her backstory or about the Say It With Me on universe in general, I would love to answer them. I don't know if I'll get back in Rochelle to answer them because this is moderately intense cosplay in terms of makeup, and this is a very thick wig. But I do want to do more with her. I do want to do more with the universe that I've created for her and Caleb and the other members of the band. So I guess leave a comment below if you enjoyed learning about my little OC, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know. Thanks for watching!